After a seemingly endless wait with all the delays, we are finally here at the dawn of a brand new era for the Caped Crusader. This is my review of The Batman. We follow the Caped Crusader in his second year of crime fighting as he uncovers the corruption in Gotham, connecting back to his own family while at the same time facing a brand new threat known only as the Riddler. But before I properly start with my review for The Batman, I want to thank WB for having me at their press screening this past week. It was an honor as this was my most anticipated film of the year, and I want to guarantee you that this is a spoiler-free review. I am legally not allowed to talk spoilers, so you are safe with this review, but obviously I want you to start the conversation in the comments below, your anticipation for The Batman, or if you watch this video after seeing the film, throw it all down there, what you liked, what you didn't like, and if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be, so consider clicking that subscribe button so you don't miss any future conversation about your favorite movies, TV, and of course, The Batman. Like I said, this was my most anticipated film of the year. This is my favorite superhero of all time. Previous versions mean a lot to me, so I couldn't help but be excited. And Matt Reeves does something impressive in this film, where he not only directs one of the best Batman movies ever, he directs one of the best thrillers ever. The Batman is through and through, first and foremost, a noir film. We have a hard-edged detective working outside of the law with an uneasy relationship with the rest of law enforcement. We got a femme fatale in Catwoman. We got a plethora of a list of obvious and less obvious suspects. We even have a narration by Bruce Wayne himself throughout most of the film, and a sultry, jazzy score accompanying a lot of the characters in this film, and of course, a mystery intertwining and connecting all of these characters, the history of the city, and some of their pasts. The mystery itself is such an integral part of this film, and it is so engrossing, where it's never about who's doing this. It's the Riddler. We're always aware that it's the Riddler. But as someone who only watched that first fandom trailer, I had no idea where the story was going, so this film kept surprising me. And that's not very common today, where every step of the way where you find something out, you feel the weight of it. You feel how it drastically changes what the characters know and don't, and how each of the players presented in this film actually do play a key part. And there are so many surprises along the way, not only for things in this film that get unveiled, but the history of Gotham and character relationships that we were not aware of prior. And so it's something that always keeps you on the edge of your seat while you're watching this, because you're trying to figure this out along with the Batman, but we're never sure what the Riddler actually wants, because they present him as this kind of psychopath that we clearly cannot understand. So the film very wisely puts us on the same place as the Batman along the journey. On a screenplay level, it's just a really smart, sharp script with some extraordinary characters and incredible lore that it explores along the way, while these characters unveil this very intriguing mystery that you cannot help but want to go along on the ride with them through all the intrigue, through all the mystery, and with all the action. And Michael Giacchino's score, which I haven't talked about yet, phenomenal. Not my favorite Batman score, I'm not ready to say that yet, but phenomenal and fits this grungy world so well. In the first 10 minutes, you immediately know you are in for something special. The way the Batman is portrayed in this film, he's like a monster. Not many people know really what he is, who he is. He's very recent into this city, but the way he is shot, the way Craig Fraser, who we will talk about more in a bit, the way they always present the Batman, where they always film his boots and him walking towards the person he's going to beat up, where criminals are always looking into the shadows, fearing that the Batman is there. Most people don't even know what to call him. Most people in this film don't know to call him the Batman. But he's really portrayed as this force of nature that you should fear. He haunts people's nightmares in this film. The way they capture him with the sound design, walking with those heavy boots towards his enemies. The way the sound design works when he's beating people up. This is a brutal, visceral, unhinged Batman. And how he says in the first trailer,
I'm vengeance.
The quote that we all been saying for years now, how that kind of connects to his arc in this film is kind of beautiful, where this Batman does not have a true purpose. He's trying to contain crime, he's trying to take criminals down, but he doesn't have a higher purpose. And what I like about that is that Matt Reeves is able to tell us a very unconventional origin story, but nevertheless tell us a story of becoming, where we see the Batman through all his struggles in this film finding a greater purpose, finding something more to fight for, where this film mostly focuses on Batman and on the detective Batman. If you've missed Detective Batman, this whole shebang is Detective Batman. But when it comes to Bruce Wayne, we don't see a lot from him, and every time we see Bruce Wayne, we understand that he's hidden himself in the guise of the Batman. He's hidden himself away from the world, where every time he has to interact with someone else as Bruce Wayne, it's very awkward. It feels like he has no personality because he doesn't know how to be a human being. And I love how that perspective is presented in this film, where he has to learn to be more Bruce Wayne as well as the Batman. He starts to understand that Bruce Wayne can be a force for good as well, and the way he has hidden himself underneath the guise of the Batman really has done more harm than good. And the way the film presents this specific version of Bruce Wayne is also very integral to how it presents its version of Alfred, played fantastically by Andy Serkis. We don't have too much of the two of them together, but what we do have really plays a very important role thematically and emotionally. There are really only a handful scenes with the two of them, but it's very important to the arc of Bruce Wayne in this film. There's just a real beauty to Bruce's arc in this film that really caught me off guard, where he finally finds, amongst the filth and the criminals and all the things that he learns in this film, he finds someone worth saving in Catwoman, someone equally as broken as him, but not at all bad, or at least not bad to the core. And I love their relationship in this film. I love Zoë Kravitz's Selina Kyle. There's just a lot of meat in this role, a lot of significance emotionally and thematically that really works and parallels Bruce Wayne in this film. The two have off-the-rocket chemistry as well, and this film is easily the best Catwoman we have ever had on the big screen. And Paul Dano's Riddler is absolutely frightening in this film. He is spine-chilling. There are some scenes that are really heavy precisely because they don't show you a lot. There's not a lot of gruesomeness, but the intensity of the entire film in tone just leaves so much to the imagination, and that's exactly what's most frightening. Matt Reeves has been quoted a lot of times by saying that this film is very inspired by Seven, and it clearly is. And the Riddler is not only frightening, Paul Dano's performance is fabulous. He is hardcore going for something very extreme, and I think that is going to either really work for people or really not work for people. For me, it really did, but I can totally see both sides of the discussion. And the film not only works on a character level, where we have the Riddler, the Batman, Catwoman, we have Colin Farrell's Penguin, which brings a lot of such clever humor to the film, where he just is friendly with everybody, and his whole attitude towards just really well done. And even John Turturro's Carmine Falcone love him in this film. I always wanted more of him. I love how they made this guy such an integral part of the film for Gotham's history, for Bruce Wayne. Again, it's a film that not only works on a character level, the way Matt Reeves creates this gigantic world that is Gotham. By far my favorite Gotham, and at least the most unique Gotham ever put to screen. It's gritty, it's grungy, and it's a dirty take on this city as a character itself and all its moving parts, but it feels like a real city. You see the slums of Gotham, but you also see where the rich people live. You see all these divisions in kind of the society of Gotham that play such a big part in this film and is thematically resonant, but the way it's captured visually. Let's talk about Craig Fraser, who last week shot Dune. He should be in contention again for best cinematography this upcoming year because this film looks gorgeous. There are some insane shots, not only in the most dramatic sequences, but the action. The best action we have ever had in a Batman film is right here. Again, like Batman himself, the character, it's brutal, visceral. You can see it all. You can feel and hear every punch and every blow inflicted on someone. The choreography is just very brawly for Batman. It's not this beautiful martial arts, it's just very punch and beat downs all over the place. There's a shot near the end, it's my favorite shot in this entire film, just blew my mind. The car chase scene that we've seen in the trailers is absolutely phenomenal. And as I talk about the city of Gotham, that is not only really fabulously portrayed by Craig Fraser's stunning cinematography, but it's also due to the mesmerizing set design, costume design. One of the things that really stood out to me was this version of Wayne Manor, which, if I'm not mistaken, we never see it from the outside, but always from the inside. And it's very gothic. It kind of reminds me, this is going to be very weird, it kind of reminds me of the castle in Beauty and the Beast, and it kind of portrays this Bruce Wayne as this very enclosed person who almost never gets out. He has shunned himself away from society. Again, he has hidden himself in this guise of the Batman, where Bruce Wayne almost doesn't exist, and he feels like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And so the geography, the layout of Wayne Manor just really stood out to me in a very positive way. And so, working on a character level and on a world building level, did I have any issues with the film, you ask? I did. I wish we could have seen more or something really at all about the relationship that the Batman has with the people of Gotham. We have a ton of the Batman and the police, where no one in the police likes him, only Gordon, and the back and forth between Robert Pattinson and Jeffrey Wright is tremendous in this film. Love this relationship, love this take on it. But I wish you could have seen how the citizens of Gotham feel about this vigilante. Not just the criminals, not just the police, the people. The people that represent the city that is so integral to this character, but even more importantly, that is so integral to the growth of this character. There are such great moments of payoff. They are so gratifying in this film. But emotionally, they could have been even better if we had done the proper work of building it up to that payoff. Matt Reeves fully engrosses us in the history of Gotham City and its most extraordinary characters, creating to me the perfect marriage between the comic book mythos and the thriller of the utmost intensity that he's clearly going for with this story. The Batman satisfied me wholeheartedly. It was all I could ask for, combining my favorite superhero of all time with a kind of genre of film that I absolutely adore, and I cannot wait to see where the rest of this world goes. I'm giving the Batman an A. But those are only my thoughts on the Batman. I now want to hear from you, whether you're yet to watch the film. Drop all your theories, predictions in the comments below, or if you've seen the film, drop all your likes and dislikes down there. thank you so much for watching. Thank you once more to Warner Brothers UK for having me over at the early screening so I could provide this review. And thank you to my channel members, Bruna and Stuart, for making this video possible. And remember, you can always click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future conversation in your favorite movies and TV. Thank you so much once more. Until the next one, love each other and love the movies.